Hey guys, we're back here checking out TikTok videos. Check out this video where I think this woman is an agent where she's talking about the top home buyer regrets. Let's see if you can relate to some of these.
The top 10 homebuyer regrets, how you can avoid them. Part 1. Number 1, not doing inspections. We're just coming off a couple years of a crazy competitive market. A lot of buyers waived inspections completely in order to get the property.
They sure
And
did.
now they're regretting it. Not knowing can cost you, can even kill you. At minimum, get a physical general inspection, a termite or pest inspection, sewer line or septic. Those 3 things should give you a pretty good idea of the condition of the property. Beyond that, there's mold, radon, pool, but you want to look at the whole property, including fencing, garages, outbuildings.
Yep.
You might be taking the property as is, but you're going to want to budget for things that you're going to have to repair.
Even if you're taking the property as is, usually, at least here, there is a contingency in the contract that gives you a right to do the inspections. You should always, at the very minimum, do a home inspection. She mentions doing a sewer scope. Good idea there too. You're talking about things that if there are defects, like if the sewer scope reveals a crack in the sewer pipe, which certainly may not be evident when you're just running the water and flushing the toilets in the house, that could be thousands and thousands of dollars to repair, especially in older neighborhoods. Older neighborhoods are more prone, trees, with the root infiltration. So you definitely want to do that. And you definitely want to do a termite inspection, or in more general terms, we call that a WDI, which stands for wood destroying insect. Because while everybody typically talks about termites, in reality, there are powder post beetles, there are carpenter bees, and some other insects which do destroy wood. Let's keep watching.
Number 2, not getting an insurance quote early on. With all the wildfires and the floods in California and in other states, homeowners insurance has skyrocketed. I've seen policies that years ago would be $1,200, $1,500. Now they want $20,000 or more a year.
Right. And don't be fooled. Even though there have been natural disasters and terrible fires like in California or Florida, you're not immune from it if you're in New Jersey. Even though you may not have had natural disasters in New Jersey, the carriers are the carriers. And if they got hit really hard paying insurance claims, they're passing those costs along to everybody.
If you're in a flood or a high fire zone. So one of the first things you do when you know this is a property you want to buy, call your insurance person and get a quote. Make sure it's in your budget. Number 3, not talking to the neighbors. The neighbors are going to tell you everything. Who the one crazy person on the street is, or it might be them. They'll tell you the bad and the good. And make sure to tell them about yourself. If you have dogs that bark, lots of parties, they're going to let you know who on.
That's actually very good advice. A lot of times as licensed agents and realtors, we get questions like, hey, how's the neighborhood? Well, even if we live nearby, we're really not allowed to talk about that kind of stuff. But what we do recommend is, why don't you drive around the neighborhood? Why don't you park and go for a walk? Why don't you try this at different times of the day? A little door knocking can't hurt either. You'll learn a lot.
On the street is going to have a problem with you. There's nothing worse than a bad neighbor. So better to find out before you close than after.
True.
Number 4, not getting a copy of the seller's utility bills. We all know energy costs have gone way up, and some homes are more efficient than others. It's not safe to assume anymore that the utilities are going to be affordable. Ask for copies of the bill from both winter and summer, and make sure that's within your budget.
Sort of. So just remember too that you might like a house warmer or cooler than that particular homeowner. So sometimes those bills can be helpful, but other times not. Still good advice to get an idea, right? Typically newer houses tend to be more efficient, but an older house, if it's had some extra insulation blown in and it has updated HVAC, which might be high efficiency, they may be pretty efficient as well. But just be careful when you're reviewing utility bills, because we all tend to like different comforts in our home.
And it's probably going to go up from there. And number 5, not reading all of the paperwork.
I don't even know where she's going to go here, but this is what I'm thinking. Ever since we started electronic signatures, the truth is nobody reads anything. You're signing right from your phone. I don't think that's such a great idea. I mean, you could sign from your phone, but it's much harder to read a sales contract or a seller's disclosure from your phone. Pull out your iPad, pull out your laptop, desktop, whatever you have, and read the documents. Here in the state of New Jersey, most of the time we're dealing with a standard templated contract, which is provided by the New Jersey Association of Realtors. The brokerages fill in the blanks, but there are areas for additional provisions, and there are a lot of things to fill out in a seller's disclosure questionnaire. So again, I don't know where she's going exactly, but we've gotten pretty easy at signing off on things electronically, but it's very important to read what is sent to you.
This is so common. A lot of times people sign without reading, and they trust their real estate agent to decipher and communicate anything important. It's all important.
Yes.
Read the contracts before signing, the HOA documents, the title report.
HOA documents are very important. I'm glad she mentioned that. Every neighborhood with an HOA is going to have different rules. They may or may not allow pets. Ask, can I bring my 100-pound dog? Right? I had a sale recently where they allowed dogs, but they had a cap on the number of dogs that they would allow in the community. So that presented a problem because they were at maximum capacity. So that was an interesting one. I had never heard of that before. They may or may not allow gas grills outside of your home. Now, the rules tend to get tighter and tighter from when you go from a single family down to a condo, but knowing the rules is really important.
People will close on a property and move in and immediately start getting fines from an HOA saying their dog is too big, or they found a major defect that they accepted because it was disclosed to them, but they didn't read. Yes, it's boring, but it's so important. Part 2 for the next 5.
Interesting stuff here. So she brings up some interesting points. Always read what is sent to you and essentially, basically, be a smart buyer. Well, we'll see you on the next one.